Okay, we're holding by the third question. The third question they ask a person after 120, Osakta Pir V'Ribya. Did you engage in procreation? Osat Pir V'Ribya, so we understand. The Sat of Osat Emuni explained, did you act honestly in business? You take something which wasn't yours, that has to do with he refers as to the Tzura Nevdelis. That is because your entity is spiritual, and also Kavati Itim La Torah. Torah is spiritual. But what is engaging in procreation? What does that do with the neshama? Did you engage in procreation? I know you don't understand it, because he's saying a lot of things he said elsewhere. We'll explain it. Anything in the physical is made of composites. We speak of the four base elements, right? Everything is a composite. Anything in the spiritual is not a composite, right? It's a what? It's spiritual. It's an entity unto, as he said earlier, the neshama is a neshama.
Yes.
Spirituality, spiritual representation is the all-encompassing of whatever physical is. Physical, it's a detail in something, right? Physical. So he says, what is procreation? The act of procreation. It's to create. It's to touch upon the present that there should be a future. Right, that's what it is. I'll give you an example. What does he say? There's a Maharal on this, somewhere else, and there's a Maharal. It says by the Torah, it says, B'shiva drachim yavo kinegdecha, it says, B'shiva drachim yonusu. They will come to you, but the enemy, they're going to run in 7 directions. Right? 7 directions. But the Torah, this in if you follow my statutes, when you pursue your enemy, they're going to run in 7 directions. What is the whole idea of running in 7 directions? So he says 7 is always teva. This is the Maharal. 7 is nature. And nature is what? It's 7 directions means it exists because it's 7. So if it goes in 7, that means that's a negation of nature. That means they're being destroyed. But he makes this point, it's made of parts. Physicality is parts. That's prat. Prat means you're a detail. See, that's what he's saying. So the act of procreation is the klal. You're creating the klal. You're creating the totality. Even though, animals also procreate. They naturally procreate, right? It's interesting. It's very interesting. The Gemara says in Be'ah, animals, or any species other than human being, when they're in heat, they procreate. If not, they don't procreate. Certain species only procreate at nighttime. Other procreate only during daytime. The Gemara says one who procreates at nighttime, it gives birth, or at night. The one who procreates during the day gives birth during the daytime. A human being who could procreate whenever he chooses procreate, therefore the child is born, could be born during night or time. Regardless when the person procreates, but because he can procreate whenever he chooses to, therefore a child can be born either during the daytime or the nighttime period. That's the Gemara in Be'ah. Therefore the Gemara says that if you find an egg on, let's say on Shabbos, in laid, it definitely was laid from before Shabbos. Because a chicken only engages with the rooster only during the daytime. So based on this, if you didn't find it at nighttime, so it's submersible, but it wasn't there at nighttime, he checked at nighttime, wasn't it? The answer is, it came out of the chicken, then was reabsorbed. It was reabsorbed, but factually, the egg already was laid before Shabbos. Therefore, if you find an egg first thing, at dawn in the morning, it's not muktzah. That means it was laid before Shabbos. That's what the Gemara says. Based on this reality, that whatever procreates at night or day, only it comes into existence during the daytime. Okay? That's the understanding. So it could be that's the animal or the species whatever it does, that's only to perpetuate the species. That's Hashem doing. It has nothing to do with the animal, right? Instinctively, it behaves a certain way. It's the season, it's the time, day, whatever it may be. A human being is a free agent. Whenever he chooses to procreate, he procreates. So what is that? Because the human being touches upon everything. That's the klal. And when we speak procreation, we're not talking about the act of cohabitation only. Procreation means that you do it in a way that there could be a child. You're doing it in a way that you could have a child. Okay? It's not simple. Because it's cited, neshama is really a component, is really a prat. The soul of every Jew is a component in Klal Yisrael. You're not the totality of Klal Yisrael, right? Moshe Rabbeinu was Shokol Keneged Yisrael. But every other Jew is a prat in the Klal. Right? We have a Klal, and each of us is a prat. We're spoken the wheel, that's what we are. The totality is called Klal Yisrael. So Dover HaNivdal is a Klal, not a prat. I mean, we have to reconcile with that. To be continued.